Hello, everyone, and welcome to another match. Extreme Full Item Rando. I am Snow Bear. Thank you. And I will be guiding you. I will be commenting you on this wonderful match that we are coming up with. So we are gonna just kind of get the start match going, and I'll give some talking points while they get going. Alright, so we have this. This is the second match of the group. Dymnix just played earlier today. Well, this is Pikapals' first match. So some quick things is that Dymnix has a little bit more experience at this. He's been playing for about a year. I believe it was, as he said, about a half of a year doing full item randos. Everybody is, of course, Alexis. And then on the other side is Pikapals, who only just started a couple of weeks before the tournament race. Favorite Pokemon is Pachirisu, although the favorite Pokemon for Gen 2 is Flareon. So this will be an interesting match. Dymnix just barely lost by a little bit earlier this morning against Orgote, but it was a great match. Definitely would watch. But this is definitely his chance to get a win and hope for maybe even a tiebreaker. So this is the group. For those who are just kind of unfamiliar, we are in the group stage. It's groups of 3. We have 16 groups of 3, top to advance. So you basically just need a win to advance. Or get a tiebreaker. So and the runners are off. You can see a little bit of the difference thing where Dymnix is using the nighttime. And also Saturday for a couple different things. Well, nighttime is a little bit better for higher level encounters in some of the later game areas, but daytime is actually better for early game mains in Route 36. Because you can get more of the level 6s to appear. But it's not as much. Nighttime is also used for higher encounters in, for example, Victory Road, Mount Silver, and 2 more level 33s on Cycling Road. It's also useful for grabbing a quick TM if you want from Celadon and the TM03 perks. But yeah, we have a Granbull starter. We'll see what the Granbull is actually one of the more interesting starters to have because it's a very physical Pokemon. It's got very good attack, very slow, but you can know if it has good or bad attack by its gender a lot more than any others because it is a mostly female Pokemon. You know if it has a male, you have at least attack 12 to 15. So neither of them have the highest attack, but it's kind of hard to tell how bad. I don't think they're going to be running. It's a little bit too slow to really use with Item Rando, but you know, it's never too. You can't just write them off necessarily. The first thing they do is pick up a lost item. The bummer, you can't actually use it like a fairy doll, or a Pokédoll rather. In this game, it's actually a key item. So that's always one of the more amusing things. You know, the Rattata actually probably would have been the fastest one out of if you were playing a starter to be able to run from all the encounters in the initial route. I would definitely pick Rattata. Top percentage. But yeah, I don't think either runners are probably too enthused about it. Pikapals is guarded by encounters on the first route, which is rather unfortunate. One of the reasons why I always prefer having a repel for that person. When I do casual stuff, I will sometimes have repelled items be repelled, so I can just repel the first route. Although that is quite a good moveset on that Granbull. If I saw there was a Double Edge, Iron Tail, Thunder Punch, and a couple other things. One other move, but that's good. I mean, it's gonna be enough to go through the first route, and we have the Fog Badge right away. So that's gonna boost our Ghost, not our special. Sorry, it'll be boosting our Ghost, but more importantly, it will one has stand, and allows for obedience up to level for traded Pokemon if they were to do so. It looks like there's not really any great Pokemon here on this first route, as that you can actually catch them, but that's okay. We may just catch one just to have as an agent buddy. But yeah, they should have no problem getting through. Your turn, Mikey. Double kick? Wow. Yeah, they okay, double kick Bone Rush, my bad. Double it. That is quite a good move. I am so wrong. Oh no, it does have that much. There's the move, the move. Around and stuff. Like, although I said I would have no problem with first trainer, I didn't think that would be an almost dying to a Butterfree. So this is going to be an interesting thing. So you can, if you want, keep your starter level 6 and repel, and try to get the level 6 encounter in Route 36. But it seems like he's probably not going to do that, and probably just going to start looking for any item or maybe something on the Pokemon on Route 31. Because it can go up to level 5 there. Oh, Charm. That hurts so much. Although I can see a wild Pokemon. If I was catching it, I think feeling the electric types. Dymnix is catching the Mr. Mime. Oh, I was also caught the Hitmonchan. Not quite veins I would go for. It could be workable, Mr. Mime, but Mr. Mime is a little bit harder to work with. Partially because it's 40 base HP, and it's like 50 base defense, which is crippling. You get hit by a physical move, but it's a workable special attack. But it could do with those movesets. That was double kick, and not double kick. I thought. But I was like, no wonder why nobody's just using it. Dymnix is going into Dark Cave. I'm sure you've seen quite a few. If you've been around for quite a few races, you've seen a lot of the runners who will opt to grab this item. It's not in logic, but it's a free item and can help sell it, use it a candy today. Definitely something I like to grab. But the game does not expect you to go into the dark without both the Zephyr Badge and Flash. Ah, Starmie using Swift. What kind of rando? Very good Pokemon though. Dymnix making quick work. Must have a escape rope already from picking it up. Go straight to the escape rope chamber. I agree with that. My friend, Dig does not work there. He does have an escape rope, only one. I mean, the Dig team does. Very convenient. Because now he will never have to have another escape rope, as long as he keeps Dig on by Grand Pull. Yeah, this is one of the weird ones, where normally you can just use a Dig or escape rope individually. This one room is the one room that you must have an escape rope for. And there's the old rod, so if they want a level 10 Pokemon, they have it there. Not the physical Starmie, it's typical East thing, but not what I would only consider runnable. Definitely is fishing, right here. So, with regards to the fishing slots, fishing in Ruins of Valve is the same as fishing in Violet and Route 31 and 30. Fishing in Dark Cave is totally separate. It's the same as Union Cave and Slowpoke Well. It's kind of interesting different fishing ones. Although it looks like we have a little bit of a hiccup on Dymnix's side, stream side. Hopefully we can figure out what he fished up. Not sure what happened there. But meanwhile, we'll keep watching what's going on. Uh, no, ruins is not different than yeah, so that's unfortunate. We'll take a look at on the technical side what's going on with Dymnix. Oh, his stream is off. This is definitely concerning. We'll let him know. Hopefully he has a local recording, so this can be done, but this is... Okay, his stream is back off, okay. Oh, it's back on, very good. Not much, but definitely always have to be careful with the stream stuff going on. Probably, I don't think we missed any items, he was just fishing. It doesn't seem like it was very lucrative at all, but... yeah, because he's sticking with the Grand Bowl. Nothing interesting in that ruins about though, chamber. Besides the old rod, so. I kind of wish we had seen what other stuff around. But we're doing okay. We'll see from Pikapals stream what the fishing rods are. The old rod has 3 fishing rod encounters, 1 at 70% chance and 2 at 15% chance. So you're generally only going to see 1 slot for the most part. So we see a snubble. But male snubble too, so that was pretty high tech, I think. Anyways, looks like Big Boss is happy enough to keep with the Moltres. Oh, and I must have missed picking up the machine part right there in Crowd Tower. I guess well the other fish is not the size of Coupon, but Pikapals may not be aware that those fish are something. But yeah. Doing okay with regards to the tower. This random bowl would be more than good enough to pick it up. Although, hey, here we go. We got surf going, so we can get an even better main up to level 20 and the glacier bad. Okay. This is definitely kind of interesting. Although that flamethrower Moltres is very good, just a little underleveled, but shouldn't have any problem really for the most part. One of the things that Chime shows with experience is Dymnix realizes that the Grand Bull is good enough and kind of realizes the levels, especially in the early game, matter much more than sometimes the moveset. Or not moveset, more like the Pokemon, that having just a little extra few levels is enough to push through even the toughest of matchups. But yeah, teaching the surf to the Moltres right away, very good. Ooh, Destiny Bond, yeah. That might be useful. Red, not something I would necessarily keep, but definitely could be. So Seadra was Pokemon that it was pretty good run, but definitely has a very weak special defense. So even with Granbull's mediocre special attack, it's more than enough to take it out with the super effective defense. Yeah, so far Sprout Tower very much loaded. Definitely rewards them from going in here first. Along with rewarding those levels, although it'll be interesting to see if they want to go for a new main right off the bat. They have several choices of level 20 Pokemon. Thanks, Elderly. So this is kind of interesting, but it also provides them the opportunity to grab a couple items in Violet they usually have to wait for, so good call in saving for Dymnix, doesn't want to wipe early on. Water slots are a little bit weird, because they have a base level, and then you can go up to +4 levels. +4 is, of course, very rare. You generally get between +0 and +3. We got a little angle, screen, definitely not main switch. Although, definitely, it's out for blood today. Luckily, just able to escape, not a problem. This is gonna be interesting, because we have already 3 out of the 4 parts for Royal Islands. Sort of. So, I'm almost kind of wondering, or I guess 3 out of 4 parts that go to Royal Islands, another 2 parts Beacon Logic. So, definitely kind of a question of, what will they do? Dymnix is gonna take a death there. But he did save, so he's not missing too much. So looks like both competitors aren't wasting that much time. They're gonna go for a new main. Dymnix going for a surf encounter. It'd be probably a little bit better for him actually to use a fishing rod. While it's not variable like surf encounters, it is a solid level 20 always. Whereas that level 20 plus Pokemon is actually the rare encounter here. But, Dymnix is kind of surfing around, hoping for that Gingham again. Or Grass rather, Grass is pretty solid, but now he's said, you know what, good to just finish at this point. We'll see what they have, because there are actually 4 slots for the good rod, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Lugia, not great, but if you want something that doesn't die, that's one. Pikapals is he gonna fish or surf? No, I guess he's going for surf encounters here. Surf encounters are generally a little bit slower to get. Going back? Not quite. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is a really interesting play. I like this call. I wouldn't necessarily do it, but going back for not only that, for the Mystic Water item, but potentially even, potentially even the Route 37 stuff. So that's maybe not 37, but going back for Mystic Water item check. Good call. Doesn't pay off. I would have figured if you're gonna go all the way back to Mystic Water, you might as well go the full distance and go to Route 27, but that's a little bit overkill. But yeah, it looks like the water encounters are not being fruitful with great Pokemon. But don't get me wrong, Lugia is more than good enough to surprise going to the gym. Especially with Surf. Got a couple other good attacks there. I see at least jump kick. Oh, whirlwind. One did. But yeah, it looks like not. Some things have no problem. Although Pikapals is sticking with that ultra is not a terrible idea. I mean, flamethrower surf is more than good enough for me. Even though you have the legendary experience, but it's not a big problem. I imagine Dymnix is going to be looking out for better mains in Union Cave and B2F when he gets a chance. But we got the card key now. That's very good. I always like to see that item. Lets me skip a certain scam gym. Tojo does have better levels, indeed. I don't know if they're very familiar with that. Tojo has up to level 20, like 23, I think, or in the ground, and the water itself is around that. The water 2 Tojo as well has a little bit higher level than the ones over here. But it's quite a distance, and I think for them it doesn't necessarily pay off. So I can understand why they wouldn't do it. I mean, with Pikapals, I think when he went back for the Mystic Water, I definitely would have gone whole hog, but it's not a problem to just go, just take the small loss. I got the Rising Badge though, so I think this is going to be more a reward now to Dymnix to go back on at a later point in time. Definitely are starting off with quite a bang. There's all the badges. So we'll see how this goes. Cherry Grove Water cannot go very high. I think we've talked about this. Level 20 is a max in Cherry Grove Water. It's really not anything different. I think you're thinking of Heart Gold Soul Silver. I didn't see if Dymnix grabbed the items down in the basement. Probably not, because it looks like he's going for the B2F first. He's saving just to see if he can chance save reset. Saving himself by being to dig. I like that. Nice range save. And also couldn't even get her. Slugma is always a very good game. But we'll pass on this. Very good game. But you can't repel things higher level than you, so. Wise call. But you can reduce the amount of lower level encounters that you don't want to see in the water. Okay, so B2F is empty. Didn't get any good encounters, so Jeff is gonna. Okay, now he can go to the regular basement. I like that. Although I would have checked the regular basement first. It's a matter of preference. But I like that. That was a very good save reset point. I didn't really think about that. Definitely save some time since you're gonna be doing both checks, so I'll eat my words. And I'll have to do that kind of thing next time for me when I get early surf. Really neat idea. So this is actually an intriguing idea. Whether you would want to just kind of beeline to Goldenrod to get to Kenya and then try to do all the Azalea stuff on the way back, or just go through Azalea right now. But I think with Dymnix's point of view, he's got a Luigi that's more than good enough to deal with anything here. It shouldn't be a big problem. So setting the time and day does not have an effect on the item checks here. It's just there's a couple of things that you can do depending on day time. For example, on Sundays, if you have enough happiness, you can get the TM21 or 27 in the mart. But the main reason to use Saturday is, for example, the bug catching contest, which is on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. If you had the ready card, you can do Pokemon March and hopefully do that also works on a Sunday to increase chance of getting Roamer. But the main thing is also with nighttime is that levels of encounters in grass actually change based on your time of day. And nighttime is useful for getting the higher level pokes in first place in the Victory Road, where in daytime it's only up to 35, but at nighttime it goes up to level 40. Mount Silver at level 51 during the day, or level 53 at night, and a couple extra level 33 slots, for example, in Cypress Road. But it also allows you to pick up an extra TM if you want to in Celadon at night. The TM03, climbing up to the top of the mansion to get an extra TM that could be useful. So that's always a good question, because I think most people just by default will select Sunday day, which is just, just smashing A. It's not a big deal, but sometimes changing the daytime can help you in those little minor ways. Smashing A is faster, but sometimes having the daytime stuff will pay off, and sometimes having nighttime stuff will pay off. I have got enough good TMs on that night check to warrant me. I feel like just checking. It's just that small chance of it actually being good. Although the only times I think I regretted not having daytime is getting early surf to get the level 30s in Union Cave. Actually, they could have actually done that. Both of or at least level 30. It's not level 30 during the day, or during the night, but during the day you can get a level 30 Union Cave black slide on the ground and in the water. So if Pikapals wanted to, or had experience, you could have actually gone in there and chanced for level 30. That's not something I thought about, because you don't normally get surf that early. So that also gets up to around mid-20s if you wanted to in that dark cave black side. Might have actually been a good idea to check too. Wouldn't have gone on any items, but it's more encounter slots. So it seems relatively straightforward. Basement key on Kurt. So that's always good to see some progress there. So with our logic setting, you are never required to go into the basement without having the card key first. In this case, they do have the card key first. So once they hit 7 badges, they probably will visit the basement. Although, with less than 7 badges, you can go into the basement. You still have to fight Rival 4, which is the most difficult fight. But you'll skip all the rockets, and you can get all the items except for the director item. Because they have the card key, I doubt they'll go into the basement early, but it is definitely a play they could do if we're struggling for gadgets. I doubt Dymnix will be running the Lugia the entire time, but it's more than good enough for the moment. Lugia won't die. Well, it won't necessarily kill things in one shot, but it won't die either. Rainbow Badge. Very good to see Rainbow Badge on the charcoal item. And it looks like Dymnix is just gonna ditch the rest of Azalea. Not wanting to deal with Bugsy. Actually, no, You know, he didn't fight Bugsy, so I'm ditching it. Pick up the Zephyr badge, nice. Of course, always good to see. And the Cascade badge. It looks like we might, at this point, actually be heading to an early rocket segment, which is always a little bit more awkward to do when you don't have a good main. The rocket segment is low level 30s for the most part, but there is that one guy with level 36 Pokemon that more often than not has given me so much trouble. So this is going to be a little bit more of an awkward check for Dymnix. I hope he actually beelines his radio tower check first. If only to make sure he doesn't have to fight a rocket should he pick up another badge. As pointed out in chat, Bugsy item could be important. Absolutely. It could be even another badge, which would be putting at least Pikapals into a very awkward spot, because yes, the rocket will spawn blocking off access to Buena easily. It's always a little awkward because he'll pop up once you get 7 badges in the room. So if you get 7 badges in the badge quiz or on Buena, he's there. And I hope you did. Although, copies a move used by you, that's I believe mirror move, because it's not permanent, but mimic. So a little bit baited in there, but it's anyways. For those who are wondering, it's actually faster to take the stairs than the elevator. And Bugsy is nothing. But I usually take the basement elevator first to get these items to sell, and then do my shopping. But it is technically faster to do what Dymnix is doing, and go up to the top first, and then go to the bottom. But it looks like Dymnix skipped out on useless items on Bugsy, so no punish there. We're gonna save for the bike shop call. Bike shop call triggers based off of steps or bikes after you talk to him. But if he doesn't give you a useful item, you can just reset it away. Vice grip not good enough TM to keep, so not willing to take that call, can just take that early reset. The one not giving you a badge, so no need to worry about a rocket appearing right between the stairs and the radio card quiz. That'll always be a little bit awkward. And we have the squirt bottle. So that's really going to open up access to all the rest of North Dakota. And offers a couple of new main switches, one of which being the roamer, another of which being the shiny, and of course there's always my favorite, there's sometimes electrodes and traps. They're low level 20s, it's not usually worth it, but if you're struggling for mains, I have found a Zapdos there once with Thunderbolt Drill Peck. I did throw away my main that was 10 levels higher for that. It's a very rare exception, wouldn't normally change, but it happens. Working on getting the tracker going. Can you not main switch today? Could have been a possibility since you do have the Rising badge. Did not repel. Oops. First down counter. Always the worst. Obedience has a lot of different things going on. The problem with obedience, if you go beyond the obedience, is that once you're even one level beyond obedience, things get so much worse because you have a less than 50% chance of actually using your moves as intended. I have learned that lesson the hard way, but still will do that. Look, Storm's Shiny is an option if it's special, but yes, the animation loses sometimes, but having a guaranteed 10 special is always appreciated. And it is a level 30 for all purposes of consideration. Just higher level than what they currently. Jump kick TM. Or I think he might have had that, but either way, not warranted keeping. So off they go. And if there's one thing I've learned from Crystal is that death, practice, and encounters on Route 36. 3 things that always happen, or that you always have to deal with. It looks like today's Tutor is Boba Fett. Not the main switch they were hoping for. So Dymnix has been very liberally using save resets. I kind of like that. Just being willing to just take chances with that. Although he didn't talk to the Rock Smash guy. I hope that doesn't bite him. But does get that secret potion there. I think he's gonna opt to. Does he have Rock Smash? I'm a little bit confused about his entire play there. He has Waterfall though, so if you're struggling for your main, you can go up Mount Mortar Waterfall and get up to level 32s, or you can get even higher levels playing towards Victor Road. This is definitely a good play from Dymnix because he's going to be able to tech not only the Mystic Water guy and Elm's Rising Badge, but also the Route 27 items, Route 26 item, but opts not to do that. Well, I guess he's not going to be like me, go full-throated all the way back, beat E4 early. No reason to do that. I would have liked him to have committed. I mean, I think it would have been reasonable to just at least get the Rising Badge check there, but I think he's just waiting for Rock Smash. Being logic to do all that at once. Doesn't want to have a rival one, which is understandable. I do wonder though if he's realized he didn't pick up that Rock Smash guy's item. Meanwhile, Pikapals is clearing up Goldenrod. Definitely not a bad idea with the Moltres and Scott. Meanwhile, Dymnix is exploring the depths of Mount Mortar, which will have full access to every single room. So we'll see if any of that pays off. Probably will be bodied by a lot of counters until he catches up to at least level 32 at the top. He's rewarded though for his routing with strength as well. Always good to see. And Whitney has nothing interesting for us today. I do like the call though for Pikapals to keep the same. So it's really interesting, I think, to see Dymnix going on a very, very kind of different routing. Really opting to do as many tricks as he can without fights, which I can totally respect. But he's definitely skipping a lot, and I'm hoping he's gonna pick those, eventually go back and pick those up. And you know, we've seen it kind of multiple times our runners being burned by checks they've skipped unintentionally. So definitely gotta keep an eye out for that kind of thing. It's kind of a different methods, but everyone's got their slightly different way of approaching approaching the item rando, and that's what makes it really interesting. Because I was picking up a couple of hidden items. I think a lot of people will opt to pick up hidden items at the beginning for some extra moolah, but towards the end, it's really just clogging up inventory space for items that you know aren't going to be at all required, and certainly it just slows you down. Dymnix getting some of the water encounters here. Well, level 29, not the worst. I mean, it can evolve into Typhlosion, you know, trading a long cry for a long cry. Flamethrower Kulava is very much more workable, you know, knowing that it's only a few levels away from Typhlosion. We have seen it be of good use in a couple of races. Definitely worth at least picking up there. He's pretty happy with that. I mean, I think a very respectable moveset, so I can definitely understand that. And should put down on. I think the encounters, not very many, because of course level 29 is on the lower end of the encounters here. Is gonna try to kill some some wild Pokemon for experience. Tangle unfortunately doesn't give all that much experience, for what it's worth. Digging out though, not going the full way in Waterfall. Not sure I agree with that. I mean, you're in the Waterfall top, I figure you would just go the other full way. But I guess he's gonna opt for doing Rocket Hideout to get those extra levels. Fortune does hit that hiker with 4 Pokemon. Rather unfortunate. I don't know, I think it would have been just worth to go through more. Since you already climbed, you're gonna have to climb the waterfall again. Okay, so Dymnix is not punished for not picking up the Rock Smash item. It's just a super potion. Not a big deal. Pikapals is going for the Kenya, is going to pick up his waterfall. We'll see if he commits all the way, but I guess not. Hopefully he does pick up that Zephyr Badge check on the way back. it. That would have been really quick to get. I mean, I think it's understandable either way, and that's quite a green Hoppip, although it's not going to be green for very much longer now that it's turned to a crisp. But yeah, I mean, I can understand why, but I think I would have just chanced the encounters. Because, I mean, well, Lava Flamethrower is pretty good. You never know what's a little bit closer to evolution, because it's still 7 levels away. Also, Typhlosion has won the longest prize. So you're just switching out Lugia with won the long prize for Typhlosion. Oof, rather unfortunate that Rival's Voltorb has Thunder. So Pikapal's unable to take that hit. We don't know the roamers, neither of them tried it. In fact, we can switch to Pikapal's audio for when he does get the roamers, but right now nothing's happening. Trying to make that work with Moltres. It is at least able to take a hit from the Voltorb. Unfortunately, it did get paralyzed by it, so... But it's not a problem after taking it down. Paralysis is a little bit annoying, but... Definitely has gone through the worst of it. As letter E, or is that P or R? It's not going to be a problem. I actually do not know those, but I believe one of them might have been Kabuto? And I think this might have been like a Slowpoke Suicune. Nothing I would be super... Oh, you know what? It was Machop. Pikapal is not necessarily going for roamers. I'm doing okay. I'm okay with that play. Is beelining towards Olivine. I guess maybe hoping for that Clover Wing to get to level 60. But our runners have taken very different paths. Which is somewhat exciting. Yeah, it is very unfortunate for him to have skipped the secret potion, or the Zephyr, the Miracle Seed check, which would have given him the secret potion. What's even more unfortunate though is that he got the Pokedex, ruining his menuing. But yeah, so I think Dymnix is definitely gonna have a good going when going in there. I almost wonder whether it would have been worth it for him to actually. I think that's next on his dock is clearing out all of Olivine in one go. Whereas, it's rather unfortunate that Pikapals is going to have to at least probably have to double dip for the Jazz. definitely going to be hard to keep track of who's done what. It looks like the rocket, for the first few items, Rocket Hideout has been relatively barren. Lighthouse soon to come, though. But the cool lava, of course, taking care of this. Very Rocket Hideout, while it's kind of tedious, is very good for getting experience. You can guarantee yourself at least a couple of levels, even at when you're way over leveled. Having a couple of levels is always nice. With the most recent speed choice, you do not need to talk to the password rockets after defeating them. It is a little bit nice. It helps people not forget about it. It also just kind of saves the dialogue. Yes, Explosion is level 33. Dang. I always get confused between the Alligator, where Alligator is early because he's Crocodile's late. Lava is evolves early to lava, but medium for Explosion. Sandwood could definitely be progress, especially that lost item check, or not lost item, the secret potion check, which is very far out there when you don't have fly. Although, speaking of fly, Pikapals picks it right up. Always good to see. Just need that storm badge. So for those who are kind of new, for the way that we have these with the item randomizer, we have restrictions for where fly and storm badge can be. Because they got this part bottle, the fly and storm badge can be anywhere in Johto, with the exception of east of Mahogany, so Route 44, Blackthorn, Ice Path, Route 45, and Dark Cave Blackthorn side are all out. Having the pass would allow things to be in East Kanto, but we can have other places where fly cannot be is beyond the waterfall in Tojo. Cannot be West Kanto, aka behind Snorlax, and if you have to take the boat, it will not be beyond the boat for your access to either the North Road or Kanto. Honestly, so Jasmine having Storm Badge is pretty bad because you don't want to go there because of the slow cycling road up. But I would still argue Vanilla Fly is actually one of the worst locations ever because it's so far out there, and you really don't want to go there until you have Fly. So it's kind of pain in the butt. Looks like Pikapals is going to Morty. I can definitely understand this play, but I hate every single part of it. Meanwhile, Dymnix is finishing up Rocket Hideout. Just got the last fight, and then we'll have the 3 electrodes, and we'll see what Lance has been holding on to this entire time. We got Dunsparce as our first electrode. As soon as he's on the job. And alright, so not learning Bite. And we do have a Weedle there too. I guess this is why the power plant's not working so well, or the Mahogany machine's not working so well. We have a bunch of non-electric guys. As there's power source. Now that's an interesting Krabby spot, because you can trade Krabby for a new main, but it's a little bit too low level. Although the trade experience could be nice. That would be a nice trade. You can trade Krabby in Olivine. Looks like Dymnix is perfectly happy with Flamethrower Surf, eventually Typhlosion. You can't blame him for not catching it, just as the case with her. Like, this Kingdra has been real brutal in Morty's Gym. Not sure exactly what happened, but probably a thunder effect. Oh, there's Earthquake too. Yeah, that's a never want to do that. Ooh. And Roxanne having body slam. The Roxanne is that here we fight, because in the speed choice we've turned spinners into rotators. That's why it's optimal to fight her first, because she has only one Pokemon rather than to chance it. For example, the normal speed runs. Douglas there, who has 3 pokes. Because with the speed choice, he will always hit them, because rotators spawn faces down. So it's a little bit of a different routing when you take speed choice versus vanilla game. Lucky burn there for Dymnix, able to have the attack of it doesn't dodge your rollouts. Taking her attack though is no fun to see. Yeah, neither mains do have water coverage. That's rather unfortunate, although Bryce is helping him out with the belly drum. Growth Dragon Man, that's actually scary. Luckily, because it's not the ace, Bryce will not heal it. And it looks like it's got Hyper Beam today. Good time to switch out when it's recharging. Although, I would have just healed on the Lugia at that point. Or letting Lugia to hit with level to go back with more speed. But... And today's scam gym is a scam! What a surprise! Look, I warn people, don't go beating Morty as a scam. And everyone's like, no! What about all those times that you get progress? And this is rather unfortunate that Pikapals' stream has paused, but back up, running. Fighting the Mono Girls. And it looks like Mahogany Rockets was just empty. Really empty. That's strange. You know, it's got so many checks that you would think to go with it, but empty. And Dymnix is going back to the waterfall part now that the lava is sufficiently high enough level to not have to not get any more encounters. And there's the pass. So Storm Badge could be almost anywhere at this point, which is not what Dymnix wanted to see. Well, it is better for Kanto, actually. Rather unfortunate movement issues there, but I think our players would definitely like having the pass as their Kanto access, but in this circumstances, it just really opens up where Storm Badge could be. Although, looks like the kimonos are required. Sorry, Mungi. You got the Marsh Badge off of that. Storm Badge can be on Goldenrod rockets, yes. Oh, and we have Whirlpool! Ooh! Yeah, this is getting really, really interesting. So Mortar is very much loaded as well. As Pikapals is picking up his strength. Not sure I agree with that save point there for Dymnix. Camp seems weird to me. But yeah, he is gonna grab all these items, especially in the strength block part. As far as I know, they do not have the silver. Expansion card though is waterfall slash strength. Good to see. And the radio card. Ooh. Oh, just need one more part now. Exciting. Alright. So I think Dymnix is for sure going to be heading off towards Olivine. Definitely to clear out all of it, including Jasmine. It'll be an interesting thing because I don't think, because he's got so much progress, I don't think he's going to be coming back for Kimono Girls anytime soon. So that's definitely a little bit of an advantage Pikapals has. Although it's probably unfortunate to pick up the secret potion from the Miracle Seed guy. Luckily, I can commiserate with you with the amount of morty times being required. Let alone E4. We've had at least a couple of E4 seeds already. And the settings were supposed to reduce the amount of... The settings reduce the amount of checks that are required by E4 from 6 to 2. And congratulations, Dymnix. You have also gone to Poke Test. I agree with that, Ethan. I personally don't mind going to Dark World. Dark World Islands is very tricky. However, it can pay off. Even if you're not going for the level 60, it's just so many items. And you're going on your way to Pinwood anyways. Might as well do it. Flies in the lighthouse, so that's not as big of a deal, actually. Well, I just realized it was a female Koala, so luckily Typhlosion is more of a special attacker, so having 0 or 1 attack is not a deal breaker. Not that it's a big difference, but knowing how it is, sometimes knowing you have 0 or 1 attack can be not so good with more physically inclined. Yes, Radio Tower would be open between the 2 players. Were they to grab all of them? Yes, Radio Tower is open for Pikapals. So actually, that's actually one of the more interesting points there. Yeah, with him having the marsh badge over Dymnix, that can definitely alter how Pikapals does his routing. Because then you can do not only the radio tower part, but you can also do the basement as well. Which they've had both the basement key and card key for a long time. Dymnix is picking up his fly there. Unfortunately, talking from Jasmine from this side is, I believe, a little bit slower. Oh no, I guess not. It's the same length. I thought it was a little bit slower because she has to walk off a little bit further off screen, but I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. Definitely getting that checked in a little quicker. I mean, I think it's a generally good call to think that your opponent hasn't checked it. I wouldn't. But I wouldn't necessarily think it's the only way of getting certain badges. But I would definitely consider visiting there sooner rather than later. Alright, so Dymnix, his hard work leveling up this lava has finally paid off. It's finally evolved. Good to go. So we'll go see what Jasmine has in store for us. I don't think Dymnix did much shopping here. Doesn't look like they went really. Ooh. Just an accident here from the wrong Pokemon there. That's not unfortunate. Well, I mean, we say Mahogany is dead, but you know it's got more check at that point than rushing it to the radio tower. Oh, under Bulldog. Not generally a fun thing, especially not with paralysis. And still, they have very weak water coverage, so. But the Typhlosion's flamethrower is good enough to cover. It looks like Jasmine's kind of has that Thunderbolt deck, not a problem. And ultimately, actually, Pikapals isn't punished for skipping the Spirit Potion, as Jasmine has nothing. Although, okay, so Dymnix, I think, is now realizing, oh, I can go shopping. I can go shopping for items. I would have thought about keeping, actually, the charcoal there. Since you have already a lot of money, really, in fact, the charcoal would boost your flamethrower that you've been heavily relying on. So I think it would have been actually kind of an interesting play to keep that on, as it's a type boosting move, or a type boosting item for your flamethrower. Looks like this. Everything's kind of going a little hiccups here. Hopefully nothing goes down too badly. But no, Dymnix is not even gonna try for Wall Islands or Skywood. I mean, it is out of logic, so I don't blame him for doing that. But it is kind of Dymnix still skipped the Rock Smash item. Guy, so he's not gonna be able to buy Rock Smash, which has been available to him this entire time as well. Yeah, I think he's just going to Kanto. Does return Kenya. Kenya returning unfortunately empty. Yeah, just Beeline's Kanto. It's quite possible he might have gone. I haven't looked at his personal stream to see his tracker, but it's quite possible that he just doesn't care or has forgotten about it being in logic. I mean, Rock Smash only locks 4 items, so it's not the end of the world, but it is 4 readily accessible items. So I honestly with the Electrode order, while you can beat them in any order, I find it a little bit better to just go from top to bottom. You do have the forced movement though, anyways, so by Lance. But I just find it quicker. I like it that way, so it's at least not repetitive walking, but it's not that big deal. So there's Flash now, so now all of Whirl Islands is in logic. In addition to the Rock Smash, in addition to Dark Cave as well. So, Whirl Islands could have the Storm Badge, for all we know. Oh, and the Mineral Badge is right here, wow. Yeah, Kanto's access to Mineral Badge is pretty big. Well, hopefully the choppy stream part doesn't continue on that much. On Dymnix's side. The frame drops, unfortunately, turning it a little bit more into a PowerPoint presentation. There's our phone call. That's true, Wungi. You can't realize it if you never buy it. Unfortunately, we're just gonna be missing out on what Mr. Psychic gives us today. Can't tell if it's anything useful. Looks like it's not a badge though, so not as he goes on to Vermilion. Doesn't look like he's got that. Although he does have a lost item. I don't think he's actually turned that in yet either. Looks like Vermilion's been mostly fan club guy's a bust. I guess he's heading off to Vermilion though. Maybe. And just looking at the tracker, it does seem that Dymnix thinks he has picked up the Rock Smash guy's item, so he'll realize that that was not the lost item. Right, lost item was that. Oh, okay. Right. Oh, right, it was Flash. My bad. He is going to the mart. I don't know if he picked up the TM03 or not, as we're sort of trying to read the tea leaves here. trying to get hopefully a good look at the TMs. Attack that may reduce accuracy. That's Octazuka or Mud Slap. Or no, that's Octazuka. But yeah, it looks like nothing really interesting since we have Surf. Oh! He doesn't have strength. Doesn't have strength mark, but he picked it up! Did he forget that he picked it up? That's rather unfortunate. Either way, Pikapals is now going up into the loaded area of Mount Mortar. Going to pick up several important items here. Whirlpool expansion card and the radio card. Oh, and the pass, right. Kind of important to get the pass here as well. Yeah, no, I'm really hoping Dymnix's stuff isn't gonna bite him, although it's been very difficult to monitor what he's doing with his stream on the Fritz there. For his huge frame drops. Might have to look at the recording later. He did mention he is local recording. Yeah, no, this has been kind of interesting because it seems both of our races have kind of forgone a couple of checks, which sometimes have pinned them in the butt, and sometimes and some of them we don't know if they're gonna bite in the butt. But definitely heading all the since you got machine part very early on with Flash, going to Rock Tunnel is definitely a good idea. Did he just enter and leave? Rock Tunnel? Just to get the couple items, but not not go all the way through? I'm rather confused. Because you can go, I mean, you have the machine part. You can go all, I mean, I guess he's already defeated that one trainer outside there, but I'm rather confused since you can just do the whole machine part quest. I'm really not sure what's going on there. Does he not have machine part marked, or? He never marked machine part. Oh no! Oh no! Because they've had that for. Where did they even? Was machine part from Sprout Tower? Because that was the one that I didn't see. I don't know if that was an accidental mark or not. That was the one check that I totally missed. Oh, it was from Oak. Right. Yeah, thank you again, Ethan, for doing the tracking. Oh, Sprout Tower, okay. Thank you again. Oh, definitely follow our runners, and also follow. I mean, you can follow me, but definitely give a big thanks to Ethan, who's been helping me out because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with these racers. But so I guess Pikapals may not be know that it's actually faster than just climb the stairs. I think a lot of people will just take the elevator, not realize that it's just past on the stairs. But he is remembering to pick up Rock Smash TM. Very good. Yeah. In Crystal, they encourage you to get some exercise, not be lazy and take the elevator. But yeah, so it looks like both of our runners are going to be into the amazing music of Rock and Hideout. And Dymnix, of course, is going to be having a much easier time too, considering his level 38 explosion, but they both have Flamethrower, so not a problem. They shouldn't have problems for the most part. The more interesting question is, a lot of people like to skip Pulse Director after completing the cartoon side. And the real question is whether either one will just do it there while you're there, or just save it off, because it is a 6-poke fight. It is no fun. But I think generally it's better to just get it done, because having I feel like you're wasting a lot more time just going back into the radio tower later just to do that single check. So saving for that guy actually is a little bizarre, but that's the level 36 person with level 6 Pokemon, which is much higher than the rest of them. So I definitely agree with you, because it has caused me more problems than any of the other rockets. Of course, in this case, Hound didn't for the last game, so Simple Perk takes care of it, no problem. Yeah, so for those who are tuning in, we've had quite a few different journeys where Dymnix has been kind of going all over the place, whereas Pikapals has been mostly centralized with his direction. So it's been kind of interesting seeing them having similar progress, of course. And all kind of, that's what the nice thing is about these full items, is that really the world's yours once you open up. Oh, rather unfortunate for Alistair, but luckily the double edge is enough for the Thunderdome to take itself down, so not a problem. So hopefully we're taking this safe. And for defeating the Rockets, we get our piece of garbage is the Hive Badge. Ooh, that's very interesting. And we get energy powder from behind the desk. Looks like someone was using some energy drinks to stay awake. 50M! And Max Ether. And it looks like Dymnix is going for that false director. Do very much approve of this move. The difference between the mains is that right now, so Dymnix got a main from got a lava from top of the waterfall, whereas Pikapals found a Moltres early on, I think about 31 or 30, and just been sort of running it. So that's the sort of difference. Dymnix has been more out and about throughout Kanto and Johto, whereas Pikapals has been mostly focusing in. But they're all kind of getting... there's still quite a bit of ways to go. It is nice that both of them did come with Flamethrower right off the bat, so... definitely very helpful when running a fire type, and primarily special base. Can't really ask for much more than that. Oh, it looks like Dymnix has started running out. May have been running out of PP, resorting to Iron Tails. And false director is just a lure ball, saying you got. Looks like he kind of baited everybody, but looks like Pikapals is also doing that, so that's not going to be any time differential in that point. The basement. So it's kind of interesting because Dymnix hasn't marked strength, even though he's had it since outside of Waterfall. But he also forgot to pick up the Rock Smash guy's item. So he doesn't even have Rock Smash either, although it is marked on his tracker that he's done that area location. The item itself wasn't anything, but he doesn't exactly have Rock Smash to check Burn Tower items and such. So, one of the nice, interesting things that I like to do is, in my initial passive Golden Road, I actually usually like to fight this trainer early that Dymnix is fighting. It's more relevant experience there, but it's also just faster. I mean, it's more of a hassle. You don't really get much help defeating it later, even though it does a little bit faster. Although, the levels are usually low enough that you're usually one-shotting regardless of whether you're level 20 or level 40 in this case. Basement's not always necessary, but I'd rather get the experience when it's more relevant. I can always see an argument for not doing that until you are going to the basement, but it's relatively inconsequential in my opinion to just do the fight early and take time lost earlier rather than later. I mean, you'd rather be saving for your PP if you lose otherwise. Oh, looks like Dymnix has mark strength now. Okay, very good. Rival not a problem for Flamethrower Typhlosion, thankfully. Although with Carter Raiko is always a little scary to see, but when it because he used Skull Bash, it wasn't a threat. Flamethrower very good for Celebi, which could have been a problem in having the grass psychic typings when your other move is Surf, for the most part. So we'll see how they do the password combinations. The fastest movement-wise is 1, 3, 1, 2. Pick up the items, hit 1 again. Although there are other ways you could do it. You could do 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. But just it's just easiest to do 1, 3, 1, 2. It's a little bit faster than 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 because you end up closer towards Yan. And there's your storm badge in the basement. So Dymnix can be able to get done all of Rural Islands to go and have a nice sidewood fly later too. So this would have been an interesting seed, honestly, to do early basement. But considering you had 6 badges going into the Goldenrod, and this would have been your 7th badge, you would unfortunately be fighting rockets all the way in this room. But it could have been said, although knowing you had the card key as well, it's sort of irrelevant to wait. But you could have gone all the items in hindsight. Pikapals is doing interesting switch part. But it does get his storm badge as well. I did not see what the item in front director is, but I don't think it's anything useful. And Dymnix is actually going back down to beat Whitney. That's right, he never beat Whitney in the first place. Okay, so Pikapals has got kind of interesting setup there with the switches. Definitely unoptimal. I didn't catch exactly what that combination was, but not gonna make too big of a difference since it does go through all the way. And so we got the clear bell for him as well. Just another reason to say that Morty not required. Getting all the stuff ready for it. Since we've already fought Morty. So now, it's gonna be interesting to see what Pikapals does. Pikapals is most likely gonna pick up Flash and Mineral Badge from Saffron, and we'll see if he decides to go all the way to the power plant. Yeah, so now that our runners have Fly, which honestly it could have been anywhere. Fly and Storm Badge, sorry. Now it's really just a kind of matter of doing the optimal checks and seeing where you get items. So, yeah. Dymnix is taking the basement all the way down. Was he trying to get... I think he was trying to... Yes, yeah, okay, so now he realizes, oops, I skipped the Rock Smash guy. I'm gonna go get that. Did Pikapals not turn in the Lost Doll? For Flash? Rather unfortunate. Alright. Dymnix is going back. No? Oh, Pikapals doesn't have Flash! Huh! just didn't turn into lost gold. Oops. May have forgotten it. It's gonna be trudging around in the dark, unnecessarily. But yes, I mean, look, even rock tunnel isn't super hard to do. You are going to be default slower, just fumbling around, using bonks or having to count steps rather than just being able to see. But at least Pikapals does have, Pikapals at least does have, doesn't have the lost ball marked, or the machine part marked, so he will be able to do that full quest. And we'll see if, Dymnix realizes, oops, I don't have the plane badge. I can't move that boulder. It is gonna go for that flash chamber though, so we'll see if Pikapals not having flash is gonna bite him in the butt. Dymnix, you don't have oops. Sometimes it can really mess with you. Realizing you have certain items, because there's so many checks that you're like, okay, I can do this check. You know, you do all these checks in the same way, and it can really mess with you if you actually don't have that kind of stuff. I didn't see what the expansion card guy has, but I don't think it was anything interesting. The Flash Chamber as an Ultra Ball, they're ultra required, and the Super Rod, supreme required, and a Max Repel. So, Pikapals is not going to get punished for that. Oh, you know what? I don't think Pikapals necessarily forgot. He's just checking later. Although, he is going to be kind of, perhaps, face palming, realizing he didn't have to go in the dark. There was Flash right there to begin with the entire time. Oh, the SS ticket. Oh, my bad. SS ticket off of... that's interesting. Alright, so now we get to see what's in the Dark Cave. Where Pikapals goes to the store, and we'll see what those TMs are as well. Unlucky, getting the... I think it's a 50% chance of getting Rock Smash Encounter. Oh, in fact, that may lower speed? I mean, that could be Bubble Beam, but you have Surf, so that's not a problem. He is going to stock up some healing items. And some revives. And some full heals, very good. Dymnix, doing the checks that he kind of saved for later. Looks like Dark Cave and Route 46 were a bust. He's gonna get that Rising Badge check. Hopefully he opens his bag to make sure that he can collect Elm's item. Rising Badge check takes priority. Oh, doesn't matter, it just gets cut. Rising Badge check takes priority over the Mystery Egg check. In this case, it's doesn't. Although we've had, that's kind of interesting now that we have the Rising Badge check, because we've had it now potentially to cut for a long time. So, I guess it's better late rather than never to do that check. Yeah, it is rather unfortunate that we've had a lot of kind of internet hiccups for both players. It's going to be very difficult to kind of pay attention. This is why also it's very important, especially to have a local report. Yeah, a lot of the internet problems. Although Pikapals' spinner has been a little bit more stable than Dymnix's. Or their stream has been a lot more stable. Looks like Janine doesn't have anything either. Cut checks on Route 12. Not as important. This is kind of amusing. Oh! Hey! You found the bike! Congratulations, Dymnix! You now can ride 2 bicycles! Or rather, you can ride a bike while riding a bike. It looks like he's on his way to Royal Islands, which I very much agree with this play. And Pikapal has the item finder. Hopefully that'll help him find the items he seeks as he goes on the boat. Although, it's a travesty that I'm switching. I did not mean to switch the audio. We have amazing boat music. He's in chat. Definitely one of the best musics. And Crystal. And we have the Earth Badge from Royal Islands. Ooh. No silver wings, so no chicken Luca. I didn't really do that anyways, but is gonna go grab all the other items. Rather unfortunate right now. Dymnix is stuttering right now in the new area. I think Pikapals is on the way. We've missed quite a few checks here that he did. I don't even know what they are. Oh, Pikapals does have the silver wing for the pin part quest. Oh, neat! I thank you for catching that. And for all your help on the boat, you get rewarded with a burn heal. Rather unfortunate. I guess, so Dymnix briefly left Royal Island to be able to get access to just cutting out and being able to just go here. I am a bigger advocate, because it's a quicker fly to I'm actually more of an advocate, especially if you have fly. The Signwood fly point, go from there. And it's much quicker to just not have to deal with the spinner, the 6-spoke spinner. It's a lot more consistent as well. But, you know, it's not a big problem just to go do this in this fashion. And the Poke Gear, ooh. Wow, so now West Kanto has directly opened up for Dymnix. He is on his way back to Vermilion. He save reset earlier, so he didn't have the fly point to there, but now he's got West Kanto access. Pikapals being very careful to dodge any and all instances of trying to fight that thinner. Very notoriously bad. It has 6 Pokemon. Do not want to hit. And we have an Alakazam as the 50th thing. Very interesting. Ah, yes, the 2 knives. Very important to go as per plan. And we have a cow as a 60. Definitely would consider switching to that. I think in this case, Moltres is better, but Milk's still very respectable. Not with that moveset though. I'll take a hard pass on that one, Chief. Alright, so nothing so far good from going past the Snorlax, although it looks like Dymnix is at least to Alakazam, considering it. I think he is. I just saw him earlier in his match before. This is the movement I used to do. Hit the quick fly plane for Meridian. Don't have to deal with too much cutting bush. I don't know if it's actually faster not to do that. But it is kind of nice. Boulder badge there from Route 2. Or sorry, not Route 2, but Meridian Forest. I mean, Edge Maze. Not much of Forest. This is still really anyone's race. Especially with the fact that, that both that, for example, Dymnix is missing the Marsh badge that's on the Kimono Girls, so you never know when he's gonna go back and do that. In the meantime, Pikapals gonna be picking up his Pokegear as well. Gonna fly out. Unfortunately, the Pokedex menu does ruin him a little bit. As Dymnix is going to Victory Road. So Pikapals does not have his cut HM from Elm, so he's not going to be able to go as far in West Kanto yet, but he's getting there. So far Victory Road not paying off. But it looks like Dymnix is doing the movement to get the items, and then get the Indigo Plateau Fly Point for later in case he does need to do E4. I do like that. Daypal's not really concerned about the Alakazam, but it is kind of rare to see a female Alakazam, as it is a 75% chance of being male. But yeah, knowing that the Alakazam usually has 2 knives. I mean, it's very fond of its cutlery. In this case, not the usual spoons that most people see. So, It looks like Pikapals is going back for the Rock Smash item. Although it looks like both of our streams are sort of being a little bit inconsistent. Which is rather unfortunate with their initiation. But yeah, Pikapals not able to proceed into West Kanto as Dymnix did. However, he still could get those items even without cut. Don't know what that don't know actually what was the Rock Smash item. Unfortunately, we just missed it. Cut was the Rising Badge check from Elm. It looks like Dymnix is just totally happy going. He's gonna also go up Tin Tower as well. You gotta talk to the guy, my friend. When you don't beat Morty, you do have to talk to him. Somehow when you beat Morty, you don't have to talk to him, but you do have to talk to him if you've done only the card. If you've only done the Radio Tower. Unfortunately, all this Alakazam does not have good coverage for Kingdra. It seems to be a rather big issue for both of our runners not having water coverage. It's rather unfortunate. Oof. And it just got frozen. Oof. That's from Tritech Freeze, of course. And again, you know, this is an experience that I can totally relate to, and just to hit you while you're down. Of course, use Trigger Sandstorm as well, just to waste additional time. You hate to see it, folks. I would agree that Typhlosion is honestly better than this Alakazam. Coverage-wise, yeah, I mean, Alakazam has a higher special attack, but its defenses are very bad. You already have a lot of experience on the Typhlosion. Level 42. It was level 42 compared to the level 50 when you had that. I would have probably just kept it in at that point. Along with the stat experience and, as we've talked about before, stab Flamethrower. We have Magby. And we get the red skill in here. Interesting. Anyways, we got the red scale in here. I don't know how much more. Amulet coin is an interesting item, but not really as worth it here. Pikapal's not actually taking the common save point for this part here. A lot of us like to save there because it is these 2 checks that you could save time. But I don't complain. I don't think it's that big of a problem. Dymnix can save in this middle pillar here, because once you jump off, if you have to keep that item, you have to go all the way around, down the floor, and then up out the floor again. So we just save here, save ourselves some trouble, and then proceed on. It's hard to say really who's ahead, but I think Pikapals has the advantage here, based on doing the Kimono Girls of bathing. However, he is gonna have to go back, and most likely cut is gonna be required. Also, he probably is gonna have to go back to Elm eventually, but... And... we got Single Spoon up top. You know, this is actually really... Sparks Eagle Spoon. Now that's a main switch if I've ever considered doing that, because then you could give it Surf. Surf, Spark, Alakazam, definitely worth it, but I agree with just flying away. Well, it was a little awkward there. Alright, so... It's hard to tell, but in this case, I think Pikapals is, because he's gotten the March badge off of... he got the March badge off of Kimono Girls, whereas Pikapals got the Boulder badge from Meridian Forest, which should be a pretty easy grab. We have been kind of a little bit hard time with the stream, both players' streams being a little bit unstable, much more on Dymnix's side, but you know, it's still got plenty of places to go. Pikapals is a little bit lucky he didn't do that Miracle Seed check, and that was a secret potion, but it ended up being useless. I think it would have been more of a possibility for Pikapals to switch from there because his main is a level 40, whereas Dymnix has kept the level 50 Alakazam that was the Snorlax. But if he wasn't going to pick up the Alakazam, he was definitely not going to pick up the Kadabra. Although, having seen Spark and knowing you have Surf would have perhaps changed my calculation a little bit. Looks like Dymnix is on the way to the Ho Chamber. We'll get to see where that is. Whereas Pikapals is grabbing this lone item where the Solar Beam Cam is normally. And just a Paralyzed Wheel. I think not much on there. Info Chamber has not much in it, actually. Unfortunate, but fine. Although we have an Aurora Beam Cam, ooh. That is definitely going to help the Alakazam a lot. It doesn't offer that much coverage, but it does offer Dragon coverage. And would be something at least neutrally effective against Kingdra should you find another Kingdra. The Earthquake him. It's been really interesting because we've had strength for now a while, but we do not have that Flame Badge, as it's been pointed out. And honestly, I think at this point our runners are hoping to have Flame Badge as their last check, as it locks out whole northeast Johto, and several other checks that are secondary around there. But yeah, so now Pikapals is going to go check Victory Road that Dymnix has already checked, which was rather blank. But you can also have go and do backwards Kanto. since he didn't have cut initially, he missed some of those cut items when he woke up the Snorlax, but, you know, it's rather convenient to be here and might as well get it done. Dymnix can be kind of picking up some of these items now, kind of realizing there's not much there. Neither of them have entered Route 44, which is kind of strange because it's at this point for them 5 items, and it's free 5 items. I definitely have been on that place where playing badge or strength has been on Route 44 in Ice Path, free strength. And you know, sometimes you just gotta go there and just accept that, you know, at minimum you have 5 checks you're gonna get, and you know, if you're lucky, you get access to the rest of a lot more checks. I didn't see what that electrode had, but it had something that was destroying. I don't like going into that rest house there that Dymnix went into, because it throws off the movement to avoid that spinner up there. Generally, I just will take it and just leave. In this case, you know, you're not, because he's already checked ready or Victory Road. He doesn't have to fight that trainer that Pikapals did. And it looks like Dymnix is gonna take the plunge and do the roamer, get the burn tower checks, and probably do Morty, which, as always, is a scam. Oh, Crab Hammer, yikes. Thank you, folks, for catching that. Yeah, Moltres is still very weak to water moves, and Crab Hammer, especially with a crit, is very dangerous. I don't expect Pikapals to actually do the E4, since there's so much more to do. Just stopping and getting some full restores, can't agree with that. Grabbing the items and then gonna do West Canto, but he was not able to check earlier. And hopefully pick up that Boulder badge. Yeah, this is gonna be really interesting to see when Dymnix decides to get the Kimono Girls done. So this is, you know, this guy with the Dream, who normally has Dream Eater TM, it's really interesting because he's cut or surf locked. And I've had times where I've had surf there or cut there, and it's always one of those weird ones. It's just like, oh, kind of strange. Yeah, so Pikapal is gonna be on his way to pick up. Oh, super yikes. Yeah, pick up his Boulder badge. So we can say that for sure that Pikapals is definitely a little bit more in the lead here. Although there's been a couple checks that he forgot that luckily it hasn't been him in the butt. But we'll see if he's gonna go do anything else differently. Dymnix, I think, has forgotten about the machine part check. Which in this case had Silver Wing and eventually the SS ticket. So we're gonna have to hope for his sake that the SS ticket isn't getting much. But is that? No, never mind. I was thinking, for example, he got something off of Route 44. Plane badge, but no, just dipping into Ice Path right now. He is saving. Not sure I would. I don't think saving here is saving time, but there's the plane badge, as called by chat here. Plane badge and ice path. Shining example why, even if you don't have strength, it is more than acceptable just to dip in, grab those items. That's pretty huge for Dymnix now, because I don't think Pikapals is going to check Route 44 for a good while. I think it's kind of weird because a lot of folks will wait until you have strength and plane badge to do any of those checks. But in this case, unfortunately, not taking the dip sooner actually hinders you. So, it is true that Dymnix is going further away from the Marsh Badge. Marsh Badge was on Kimono Girls, which she has not done yet, so... it's rather unfortunate, but... that's sort of what Pikapals has a little edge on. So this is kind of gonna be a question of how soon Pikapals is gonna go towards Ice Path himself. Whereas Dymnix now has got plenty of places to go search for, well, the 3 remaining badges that we haven't seen. Being the Thunder Badge, the Soul Badge, and the Volcano Badge. Although, the world is entirely accessible to him now, so really, it's a matter of where you want to go. Oh, and speaking of the Thunder Badge, right there, Dark Cave, Blackthorn side. And nothing interesting from Black Glasses, whereas Pikapals is taking care of Erica, fighting quite the kicking gator. Dodging that spinner, very good. Getting the Ultra Ball, Ultra required. Alright. Pretty good. So this has kind of been interesting. So now Dymnix is going to be checking all the places that he was trying. There's going to be a bunch of places either right now going to do Slowpoke Well and coupling it with the Waterstone Chamber that he attempted to access earlier. Could also give him the plane badge check as well too. I had forgotten the plane badge check more times than I'd like to admit. Oh, and there's the Soul Badge! Ooh. I don't know, folks. This is getting really intense. Oh, and so Pikapals is going to Lick Rage, getting a little bit closer to Route 45. Perhaps he'll take the plunge there as well, and pick up 3 badges. Now we're just on the hunt for the Volcano Badge, or we are in no mode. So. So it's been kind of interesting because they could have accessed that plane badge much sooner than they did. And you got the Waterstone Chamber. Oh, wow, vanilla TM10 location. I didn't see that on Dymnix's side because of the choppiness. Oh, Oh, there's the volcano badge! Okay, so now it's a matter of question of when Dymnix is going to check. Ooh, this is gonna be. Oh, this is gonna be hard. When is Dymnix gonna check Kimono Girls versus when is Pikapals gonna check Route 44? This is anyone's game at this point. Although I think Dymnix is trying to run out of checks, so... Well, I mean, he's got quite a bit still, but... None of them are looking too pretty. He is an air critique. He's doing the strength check here. Hopefully he hasn't forgotten that he still has Kimono Girls to do. But this is... But he's flying away. Ever so close... getting oh so close to finding it. Oh so hot. Almost burning hot, and then flying away, kind of in his hand. So... rather unfortunate. But... it seems like I think the chat's trying to will him closer to it, but... Dymnix is gonna go on to more of the Kanto. Kind of doing some of the checks that Pikapals is doing, whereas Pikapals is now fighting Surge as well. This is gonna be really interesting because I think once Pikapals gets the plane badge, that he'll rather quickly get all the other badges in quick succession like Dymnix did. But then the question is, you know, when is he going to go to Ice Path? Because that plane badge is the key to everything else. So it's rather unfortunate from Dymnix's side that the mineral badge, or that the marsh badge can be literally anywhere, and in this case, I guess he picked up the mystery egg somewhere. I didn't see that. In this case, getting 5 max revives, very much appreciated. Oh no! Pikapals, no! So he picks up the secret potion. Oh, I hope that's not going to lead him astray. Dymnix doing Morty now. He's getting hot! Oh, so hot! You know, it's warm, but we'll see. This could be the Morty into Kimono's play. Whereas, you know, right now, Pikapals is dealing with that flash chamber. Really, it's gonna be, where, you know, it's still anyone's game. And then keep in mind, raid can still be an issue. I mean, if it has a physical move or a rock move, either of them could be in trouble. And no matter how much you try to say, Wungi, I don't think that I don't think that club is insufficient compared to the Never Morty club. Correct. No Kanto gyms were required this seed. Actually, most things were in Johto. With the exception of Flash and Marsh Badge. Not Marsh Badge, Flash and Mineral Badge. Although I guess okay, and the boulder on Viridian Road. Or not raid, raid forest. Yeah. Yeah, today gyms were not the thing. Unring gym. And Pikapals is gonna go deal with Jasmine. Rather unfortunate. We know she has nothing, whereas Dymnix is also gonna be experiencing the scam firsthand with regards to Morty. Always a scam. Luckily for Pikapals, it's not gonna take too much of an issue. I mean, double dipping's lighthouse is no fun, but you don't have to do any more fights. It's just a single quick fight. A little bit bad on the movement wise, but not too bad. And Dymnix flying away, can do the plane badge check. Gonna be very disappointed to get just a single potion. This is not the this is not the badge you're seeking. And then he's gonna go on his way to do Chuck. So I'm not sure how Dymnix's tracker is looking at this point. Besides the fact that every location is still open. It looks like he's kind of going to do whatever he can have. So yes, Marsh Badge, sure, Dymnix is still in the Kimono Girls. Plain Badge is in Ice Path. Thunder Badge is in Dark Cave, Blackthorn Side. Volcano Badge is in another thing. I think it's Waterstone Chamber. And the so it's Waterstone Chamber. And Soul Badge is another strength block check. I don't remember at this point. Alright, Pikapals is on his way to Ice Path. This is huge for him. So now it's a question of, doing... Oh, there's the mystery egg. I didn't see that it was on Route 44. We kind of missed it in the brief intermission, slideshows. Okay, so Pikapals, please. I'm hoping he's going to check those high-value strength locations afterwards and Dark Gate, because it's going to be highly required. Rewarding for him. In the meantime, chat's still trying to channel the Kimono Girl's energy to Dymnix as well. I'm hoping for a real close, tight finish at this point. Still anyone's game. Yeah, so Pikapals could be done very quickly if he does some of the checks that are most efficient right now. As he's picking up his plane badge right now, things are heating up. Decent boulders. Not everyone can do super swag boulders. I for one am not very good at swag boulders, but very good, decently good. Not anything too bad here. Dymnix finding, unfortunately, that this is not the location he's looking for. Going into Azalea. That's right, he skipped Azalea! He skipped Bugsy! Catching up on all these kind of quick checks that are unfortunately not going to pay off for him. But Yeah, so Pikapals definitely going through. Pikapals isn't in go mode yet. He has all the tools he needs to get to it, but he needs more. He needs those badges. We'll see what Pikapals does. I mean, a lot of people tend to push off Claire, so but it looks like he's diving into Claire. You hate to see that, folks. It's 5 checks, but there's so many more checks elsewhere. Oof. I mean, you hate to see it, folks. Either way, though, this is actually probably needed experience for Pikapals. His Moltres is only level 45, and I think he has only like 3 or 4 candies. So, either way, Red's gonna be a very tough fight. And this is actually one of the actual downsides for running a legendary the entire way through. You can see that Pikapals has been struggling for sort of struggling levels compared to Dymnix, who's although literally being swapped, but which is not a problem. He has up to his own legendaries for the most part, which get faster experience. Looks like Dymnix is going all the way to towards the soft sand girls. Not really interested in taking the Claire plunge that Pikapals has done. Maybe Pikapals might think he's really far behind because he just now got the plane badge, so he's gonna go for the checks he think, kind of the most efficient checks, or the most checks in close areas, which is not a bad thinking, because a lot of people do push off Claire until the very end, and it is at the 2-hour 20 mark, so at this point it could be anything. Or he could probably even be E4 required, likely. In this case, actually, it's just none of the badges none of the gyms were required except for Falconer. That's not something you see every day. It's hard to say what Dymnix's next step is. I think he's just trying to get done some of the inconvenient checks, or ones that he skipped when it was inconvenient to him. It's really hard to tell. I honestly don't think he's gonna be doing kimonos anytime soon. Although he may be wanting to figure out all the Johto checks before Kanto, which is definitely a mindset sometimes that I have, where I'll have my mind on set of clearing one entire map. And it looks like Dymnix is going to head off to Claire as well. This is actually what Pikapals need to see, because this is of course going to be a waste of time for both of them. In Dymnix's mind, this is absolutely his best play, considering he's had access to all 5 items for a while, and odds are that it could have most definitely been there. It's rather unfortunate for Pikapals that he's choosing to do these checks that we know are empty compared to some of the other quick checks that Dymnix already did to grab all the other badges he's missing, or that Pikapals is missing. But we never know what's going on. It's still anyone's game. It's really a matter of, will Pikapals do his efficient checks quicker than Dymnix going to the Kimono Girls, and you never know. it's still sort of a long shot for Pikapals at this point. He is very much underleveled for red. And doing the fastest way of doing the answers to the quizzes for Claire, 11212. Yes, that's the same as the radio. I don't know. I think that's just kind of coincidence, but it's good enough. It's not going to get you the Extreme Speed Dratini, but it is good enough to get through the quiz, which is the important part. So the biggest thing is that Pikapals is coming in with a large rock vulnerability, whereas Dymnix is gonna struggle against anything that's really that's water type, but it also has any strong physical move. Whereas the Moltres is more willing to resist physical moves. The Alakazam does not have the defense and HP to tank up a strong physical attack from red. However, both of those can be sort of remedied with some X defense. Although the good thing for Pikapals is most of the time, most of those rock moves are inaccurate. With the exception of Ancient Power. It doesn't have to worry about Hidden Power being rock type because on red it's actually ice type always. But yeah, Pikapals is going to be picking up his Thunder Badge right here. Just a couple more badges to go. Whereas, you know, it's going to be doing all these checks. Alright, so I don't think there was any badge on here, but I think Slowpoke Well and Waterstone Chamber had the other ones. Rare Candy is always nice to see, especially when it's late game, and you're starting to see that it's like, oh my gosh, I'm very close, and you know, my opponent can finish it any time right now, especially this period. And he's going to turn in the Elm. He's gonna. Hopefully, he has a Max Revive in his bag, so he can get those 5 Max Revives, which will absolutely help for red. In worst case scenario, I would prefer 5 Rare Candies, but 5 Max Revives is always, you know, something I need, especially since you can't buy those. Pikapals going for at least the plain badge check. I really wish he would. Okay, now he's heading to Azalea. Looks like he's gonna be coupling Waterstone Chamber with Slowpoke Well. So this will give him his last 2 badges that he's looking for, I believe. This Mantine really a struggle for this Alakazam because it's just special defense tank, along with being water and flying type, which means none of his moves do super great damage to. So Pikapals is heading to the Waterstone Chamber. He's about to be in go mode, folks. This is really intense. Even if you're on go mode, red can still very much troll you. So we're hoping for the best for both of our runners. Oh, he's doing the Ho Chamber first, which is very respectable. I mean, kind of doing the rest of the checks there soon. You know, definitely remembering he did Tin Tower earlier. Alright, so Pikapals. Do that check. I guess that's technically the fastest way when you're digging out, which he's going to be doing. Although, if you're not digging out, the fastest check is to actually go clockwise. Alright, and Dymnix is going to head off, I think, to fight Sabrina. It looks like. Yeah, no, he had not done Hode Chamber Check. He was saving it for, to do it at the same time. And there's the Volcano Badge. At 2 hours, 30 minutes, 34 seconds, Pikapals has officially entered Go mode. Now he's gonna check his TMs. Ooh, that's a Psychic TM. Oh, very much. Oh! No, I hope. I don't know if I think Dymnix might have reset away the Psychic TM, actually. Or has not checked it. I'm a little surprised that in that menuing, Pikapals did not also rare candy. But if you're gonna commit to the Moltres, but that's fair. But yeah, this is exciting. Now it's really a matter of question of is Dymnix gonna go check those Kimono Girls in enough time to make it up? But yeah, if you're wondering, this is a little time fact. I think Garfield the Lightning has been helping me out before this. It is technically fastest to by 8 frames, to go from Victory Road to rather than Viridian. However, 8 frames means if you bonk once, which is more likely when you're going from Victory Road. It's actually better to go from Viridian. So it doesn't really make a difference. It's really kind of how much you're comfortable with doing. It's a small time difference. Although Pikapal's grabbing an item in Mount Silver. Guess he's hoping for an extra rare candy or two. I'm not entirely certain why, but this is also one of the issues for not using your rare candies. When you're low 47, oh, yeah, you're gonna be getting encounters all the time here. This is why you need to use those rare candies before going into Mount Silver if you're gonna do that. I guess it's a good luck item, I suppose. Does Pikapals not realize he has rare can? Oh, he is okay. He's gonna do some. Gonna do that, and hopefully he checks for his rare candies. Ah, he's got 4 candies. Oh, actually, that's. I mean, you can still even get level 51 there. Belly drum. Oof. Not with that special Moltres. Dymnix taking kind of interesting path through the diagonal down part, or it's a little bit slower, but it has more warps. He's on his way to the Kimono Girls, guys. This is it. This is it. Oh, and Fury Cutter. Oh, easy setup for the Moltres here. 4x resist. Bunch of X defends. Just you have to remember. You just gotta hope that it misses though before it starts doubling way too much. It's starting to get up there, and he's still hitting. I don't see. It's not like rollout where it's capped on 5. It actually will. I think it. Oh no, it is capped. Is it capped on 5? Oh, I guess it is. Thought it kept doubling, but in this case, not a problem. I didn't realize Fury Cutter was capped. Very interesting. But yeah, with all he got his free setup, plenty of XPs, X specials, critical hit just to make that extra feel good part. Dragonite has Thunderbolt. You hate to see that, folks. Oh no. That's just one shot. And he's got Earthquake too. Moltres is not gonna outspeed that. Miltank could Dizzy. Oh, Icy Wind. All right, very good. That speed drop actually is very important. Because well, actually the speed drop would be important for that Moltres because then it would be able to outspeed the Dragonite if he needs to reset up. But just go on through with the Miltank. Go on through. That Miltank. Oh no. Okay, Dizzy Punch. Bone Ring, Espeon, not as much, but yeah, Dymnix is also in go mode now that he did those Kimono Girls. So it's going to be a question of whether Dymnix is able to fully set up himself. That Fury Cutter is actually going to be an issue. Oh, light screen. Okay, so can reset up on that Espeon. The light screen will wear off. Got to make sure you time your attack. That Miltank from the Lugia was definitely worth everything. Oh, and okay, so Dymnix is beelining his way to red. Maybe looks like it's just a little too late. Unfortunately, this is a very close race, but you know, at the end of the day, it did come down to well, Kimono Girls. And after that small Dragonite scare, looks like Pikapals is done with a race time, finish time of 2:37.11. GG. Oh yeah, we'll definitely have him in. Hopefully, can. This is pretty hyped. Alright. We have Pikapals in here. Congratulations, Pikapals.
Hey, thanks.
So, I guess first things first. That Dragonite was pretty scary on red, huh?
Yeah, I was like, the whole time, the whole race, I was like, oh god, I'm running a Moltres, I'm just gonna get bodied by something with a rock move on red. And then Gyarados leads Fury Cutter. And then, yeah, the Dragonite was terrifying, but the Miltank pulled through for me.
Yeah, understandable. But other than that, yeah, that was pretty key. I guess Dymnix is just on red now. He just beat the Kimono Girls he was fighting the Kimono Girls right as you were starting red. So yeah, that was the big difference, that you doing Kimono Girls early on was really what saved him. And oh, yeah, the Gyarados was kind of rough on that lead because he switched to the Alakazam.
Yeah, I looked at the Alakazam, I was like, I know I should switch to this. And then I just kept the Moltres anyway.
GG Dymnix.
GG.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the biggest difference, that it was really a wild ride because you guys were kind of trading the leads back and forth, but I guess, yeah, I guess the main difference with you, Dymnix, is, it's rather unfortunate that the lead Gyarados had Fury Cutter for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, my issue was that I just waited so long to do Kimono Girls.
Yeah.
Because I was at one badge for a long time.
Yeah, it really came down to that because Pikapals, neither of you guys really checked the ice path really soon, but then it really came down to that last few badges being locked in and quick checks in the plane badge. But yeah, I guess talk to us a little bit about the. Was there really anything that really stuck out to you guys more for this? Because this was kind of really weird, kind of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah,
With
I don't know what was going on with me. I was just like zoned out. I don't know what was going on with me the whole race. You know, I was doing a lot of sloppy movement and just I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling zoned out a bit at the start, but luckily managed to focus up somewhere after Goldenrod.
Yeah, it was kind of taking. You guys were taking quite a bit big, differences of routing. Whereas Dymnix, you were kind of zooming around, taking quite a few different. You were skipping a lot of checks initially, like the Rock Smash guy, and kind of zooming around. You got the secret potion much earlier than Pikapals, so you were able to, and you got your Kanto access early, so that really benefited you there. But at the same time, I guess Pikapals, you were kind of more completionist about getting done things that are all in the area.
Yeah, I think at least 90% of the practice seeds I've done, I've managed to last location my last badge on some random check I didn't do early on. So I just did all the random checks that I don't do early on.
To be completely honest, I forgot the Rock Smash guy. That's why I didn't intend to skip him.
You know.
Oh, we saw that.
Either.
You zoomed right past him. You saved. What was actually really interesting in Pikapals is that you initially went back to that Mystic Water guy right after getting right after Sprout Tower. Did you consider going towards the Route 27 items at all at that point?
Not really. I mostly just wanted to head down to Cherry Grove, see if there was a good surf Pokemon over there. If not, and the item was bad, I would just reset back up to Violet. I didn't want to commit to the whole rival fight and all the stuff back past Newbark.
Yeah, I switched mains so many times. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Dymnix, honestly, I think when you got to the Alakazam, I think your Typhlosion was close enough that I probably would have actually kept the Typhlosion there.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. To be honest, I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference in the end. Like, it may be... Because the issue with the Typhlosion was that I did not have a move for the Gyarados. I would have had Aurora Beam, but still.
Yeah, neither of you guys really had... Yeah, neither of you guys really had coverage for water types, I think, the entire run.
Wing Attack was a great coverage option, I guess.
So, Dymnix, you dived into Mount Mortar Waterfall very early on. You got that... You got that Quilava and then noped out. Did you think about maybe just going around just accepting, or seeing what other things that might be there, or really you were just trying to get a new main because that Lugia was not serving you well?
Yeah, no, I initially was gonna do the checks, and my plan was I was gonna main swap there, and potentially candy up the main so that I could repel, because I would have been like bombarded with encounters. But the Quilava was 29. I don't think I had enough candies at the moment to outlevel. So
yeah, no, it goes up to level 32 there, so that would have been really rough.
So I was like, okay, I can just come back here on my way back from Rocket Hideout, because I was going to go to the Rocket Hideout to get the levels so that I could repel through and just, do that.
I mean, I think that's really respectable.
Yeah, I mean, I basically did the same thing, except I didn't go looking for a main switch in order.
So, Pikapals, actually, so, Dymnix, you set it for night, so you wouldn't have been able to take advantage of this as much as Pikapals could. Pikapals, since you set it to daytime, with your surf, you could have actually gone to Blackthorn side of Dark Cave and gone up to a level 30. The level 30 slot is actually not there in the nighttime or daytime or morning time. It's only there in the daytime. So you could have actually gone around and gone to level 30 if you did want to. I know you had gone to chart some of the waters outside of Route 31.
Yeah, I don't know most of the night and day differences, so that's an interesting one to keep in mind.
I think that's the only one that I would really take day over time or nighttime. I guess that's one of the more quick things is Dymnix. Did you? So you've gone with experience doing more of the nighttime stuff. I guess you wouldn't have been able to down Victory Road, but did you? I mean, I guess. Were you thinking about if you're struggling really hard to get a level 53 in Bout Silver?
Well, that's what I initially set it for nighttime for, just in case. Because I honestly forgot to do that during my first run of the day. But I typically try to like have the nighttime for that and for the TM in the top of Celadon, which I also forgot.
I mean, I don't know if it would have made a big difference at that point, but
if it would have been a
T-Bolt or something,
it would have made a huge difference. But I just forgot to check it. Like I said, yeah, I don't know. My mind was just off somewhere else during this race, and I really just made a ton of mistakes that I do not normally make.
I mean, I think you both played really well. I mean, in this case, it really came down to the wire. I mean, Dymnix, you had quite a few extra badges and everything going through. It just was rather unfortunate that the last one that you were looking for was indeed the one marsh badge in Kimono Girls.
Yeah, let this be a lesson.
Yeah.
Always check Kimono Girls.
But yeah, unfortunately, Dymnix, I guess this was your second loss. You've had really two really close races today, and it's kind of, I guess, unfortunate to be sort of eliminated like that, but though I would definitely take it hard because you've shown to be really good competitor, and I think your earlier match today was definitely really nice, and it was just rather unfortunate, I guess, in this case that luck didn't quite go to your side or your way this time.
Yeah, it happens. It is what it is, and honestly, I've got a lot of stuff going on with grad school and such, so it's not the end of the world. I'll still, watch the matches, cheering on everyone, and, maybe commentate some matches at some point. I don't know. We'll see.
May as well. Thank you very much, both, and congratulations, Pikapals, on the win, and thank you both for just being part of this tournament. You guys have put up a good show, and hope to see you release around more.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
Do you have any final words or any final thoughts before we kind of close out the night?
Just want to say GG's and good luck on your match against my previous opponent, Ergote. Yeah, and good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, thanks. GG's to you too. It definitely seems like a really rough group, and I'm happy I managed to get lucky enough to get one win.
Alright, well, thank you so much, both of you, for doing this. That's it for the end of today. Tomorrow, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Vandio versus Diego Mondo 18792. So that's going to be really exciting. And then on Thursday, we have two matches at 5 and 6 o'clock respectively. It was Rag and Drag versus Socket and Vandio versus okay, and forgive me, Oro. So it's gonna be some very good matches. So please, tune in for the, the matches, and please do follow both our racers. They really, follow both Dymnix and Pikapals. They're both very good racers, and please again, shout outs to my tracker Ethan, was catching a lot of things that I was missing. I'm Snowbear22, and we'll see you all next time.